is your uncle. Shout out Eddie, man. Shout out Pepe. Big up Max, man. Good ass day at work. That's what we're about, man. And I hope everyone's had a good week and everybody's good, healthy. And anyone that's traveling to the game, or I see a couple of you say you're at work, I hope everyone gets home well and safe as well. We can't take them things there for granted. Just got a promotion at work and Arsenal came in a huge game. Amazing day. Big up yourself, man. And I hope the job's everything you imagined. Lacazette was an own goal by the keeper. Hey, man, we're giving that to Laka, man. We're giving Laka that. We're giving it to Laka. Their time wasting worked for us, trust. This result cannot be understated. We put distance from Spurs and Wolves and now close to United. I had no faith, but they pulled out the bag. Tavares tried some outrageous moves. Hope he can get that right. Bro, Tavares is a madman. No one's begging for the early penalty now. Trust. Boy, we're being shameless. The confidence of Pepe to do that spin, your boy Ronaldo would never. And Odegaard, bro, Odegaard, lovely. Odegaard, lovely. I need to see what's them videos that they all put out, man. Knowing they're showing every touch, I need that for Odegaard, man. Respectfully, bro, if man can do that for El Nene, man can do that for Odegaard. I'd like to shout out the fitness. I've seen those players dead on their feet long before 85 minutes previously this season, still working at 95. That's new. Francis, you're right, but I'm not going to lie. The man look knackered, though. They did look knackered. Tierney clocked off. Bro, that ice cream scoop from Odegaard. Like what can you say, man? What can you really say? It all worked. Lovely ice cream scoop from Martin Odegaard, which he's been doing, and I would say I wouldn't say he was amazing in the first half, but he's always about. And I think in the first half, I'm not gonna cap, the midfield, Xhaka running around in the 8, Partey in the 6, there was too much of a gap. So Odegaard naturally has to drop deep as he always does, and he's not really involved. I think we had to bypass playing through the middle a lot. I think it was working to Saka over the top of Martinelli, but I think Wolves kind of clocked that. I think we kept doing it. I feel it's no coincidence when we started to offer a bit more. Benjamin White and Gabriel have to gamble too much in possession anyways. But you saw second half, Benjamin White carrying it. Even Cedric, Odegaard, Pepe, and Nketiah, like you said, Lacazette, just going up a level and whatnot. But I think until we get that specialist number 8, we have no chance of breaking down low blocks. And I think when Odegaard is around more technical-based players and nearer the final third, as I've been saying in all my streams, he's obviously going to cause troubles and cause problems, as you saw with, as good as the goal was, as much as the dramatics is worth it, bro. Odegaard doing Odegaard things, and it's lovely. And I'm in a healthy way. It's scary because Odegaard, for me, is nowhere near his potential, I still think there's several gears Odegaard can go up. I think this man can control the games for us. I think long term, he's that number 8. I think he will sacrifice what he can do individually to enhance us collectively one day. I really am happy with Martin Odegaard, and Arsenal have done a lot of, pardon my French, piss poor business. Odegaard for 30 million is crazy, and I know everyone's gassing it up now, but I've said it all season. Listen, big up Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, all these guys, but people weren't deep in. Odegaard's not much older than them, he's got potential, and obviously you want to see him be tiny bit more proactive, but I think he done a madness, shout out to Nketiah off the bench as well. Pepe getting a goal and assist. Lacazette, it was long for you if you lost in it. So you worked hard and you got your rewards, as did the whole team, rather than do the blame game we've seen in previous years. We would have just lost 1-0, and certain players knew that Gabriel would be the guy who would get in the headlines. I see people forgive Gabriel. I see players forgive themselves for their own mistakes and grind out the performance. As I said, when we remove euphoria and excitement and we look at how we can improve, then it comes back to, in the Burnley game, our foot went off the gas and we didn't get a clean sheet. In this game, we just weren't good enough. We didn't start well enough. We weren't looking after the ball. Our passing was quite off. We're getting caught. Gabriel, you could see that mistake coming where he sold Ramsdale short because he was getting caught on the ball. Gabriel's made the mistake. Maybe Ramsdale's positioning could have been better. Not that I blame him. Ben White and Gabriel and actually Xhaka, someone could have read the run of the Wolves man, but it didn't happen. Again, we know we're not going to be able to break down low blocks until we bring people in, but it's more of the same, just maintaining high standards. Because again, if you look at the Brentford game, if we played the same way from start to finish, we don't concede. In this game, if we started as good as we finished, we might not be talking about a lot of things. So we still need to play well for 90 minutes. We still have these brain farts. We still can't really break down low blocks. I still don't really feel there's enough sustained pressure, and we look like we could score goals all over the field consistently. When we're on song, it's great, but typically it's quite slow. It's quite predictable. Tierney might get the ball down the flanks. I actually feel we was more disjointed than we'd normally been. I think Tierney looked a bit inconsistent down the left. I just said about the midfield, Lacazette, he just weren't at it, in my opinion. Saka was on it, but again, it's becoming predictable. Martinelli the same. I think Benjamin White was decent. I think Cedric grew into the game, if I'm honest with you, because they were trying to just pop it over his head. The goal we conceded is calamitous, and we've got 5 errors leading to goals. That's something we need to do better. That's only bettered by Everton, and that's one more than Newcastle. Respectfully, based on how these that have been this season and what they're fighting for, anytime you're near these sort of teams, you're in problems and you probably don't want to be there. So there's a lot of differences, Shout out Arteta, because Lacazette, if it was up to us, myself included, probably would have come off a long time ago. That's why we're waffling here and he's doing that. Pepe came off the bench, made himself a hero. Eddie had a positive performance, all's forgiven for Everton and Forest. And suddenly everyone forgets the pen shout early on in it, which I think it was a pen shout, but it is what it is. Shout out to Wolves, because, we time wasted at your place. We showed you how to do it properly. Time wasted too early, and lo and behold, that probably helped us with them added on 6 minutes. We turned it around in 8 minutes. Now, we were poor. We know that, innit? We was good. We was superb in the latter stages of the second half, and we was good in the last 10 minutes or so in the drama. But we know we can play a lot better. We've seen us play a lot better than that and lose. We were poor today by our standards and won. So make of that what you will. Fundamentally, it's nice to put 6 points on the board, put pressure on other teams. I know we've got games in hand, but I like to realize games and win points. Watford away, we play on Sunday next week. Can we get a result there? We know you got the Manchester derby to come. And then after Watford, everyone's got tricky games. For us, I think Liverpool's after that. And then you got Leicester, and then you got Palace and Southampton and Brighton and all these sort of bogey teams that we look for in the calendar in August. So anytime you can win. And you got to give credit to our home fans. And just, in terms of away wins, we ain't got too many on the board. So it's always nice to chalk up wins at home, especially when you haven't been playing well. It is what it is. We still, like I said, we need to learn to break down low blocks and them units. We need to keep our standards up. We need to stop making things harder for ourselves. While we've made a lot of improvements defensively, we've still collectively got the brain farts. It was Gabriel this week. It was Ben White once. It's been Ramsdale. It's been Lokonga and Partey and Tavares. It's been Tomiyasu at occasion. It's been several players. It's not just them. Martin Odegaard against United. It is what it is. And I think this is the first time I've seen us come back from behind. If I go back to the game, though, people, first 10 minutes, I'm looking at it. And as I said, it looks like we're not looking over shoulders. There's too many gaps. I think we need to wake up, because Sais's goal got disallowed. And there was actually some half chances. I feel not that Wolves created much. Neto, important block from Gabriel in the second. I think Chan should have at least had a second. Jimenez should have got on the score sheet. There was one where I think Ramsdale technically saved it. So there was warning signs. And I think the way these chances are coming out of nothing, and we're giving it to them. I think, as I said, we're getting caught on the ball. We need to be very careful on the counter-attack. There's a lot of gaps, really. To go a goal down, it was unexpected, but it was expected, because there's been warning signs both in them going forward and us losing the ball. So to see Gabriel be the one to dilly-dally, it didn't surprise me. From the next 10 minutes, so from minute 10 to 20, I think we just needed to forgive ourselves, because it did look like we could score. We was pressing well. It just looked like we just needed to do a lot better. It looked like we need to forgive ourselves for scoring. It felt like, for me, we was panicking a bit. Like we just needed to relax. When we did concede the goal in the 7th or so minute, there's a lot of football to be made, to be played, sorry. And it looked like we was panicking a bit, forcing it a bit, and it seemed to me like we're still playing with fire. There's still too many gaps and we're still very disjointed. I felt toward the last 20 minutes from, 25 to 45, I felt we just needed to get back to basics. I feel we're creating half chances. I feel while Saka and Martinelli, more so Saka, are in the game, we're looking predictable. As I said, Wolves are not here to play football. They look like they generally were baffled as to how they scored the goal. They weren't poor, but they weren't really moving it from front to back. They were only taking advantage of the space or us losing the ball. They were losing the ball in their own half a lot. getting caught in possession. Their keeper was giving it away a lot. We just needed to do a bit more and raise our standards, really and truly. As I said, we're on this play thing. When we're having half chances, we're not finishing our dinner. Let's be real. Lacazette is doing quite poor in that regard. Saka's doing well, but there's a couple of Iwobi shots from him as well. And I think even Martinelli, too much players are playing with their head downs, trying to force it, really. Just need to play calm. At halftime, I thought so. We're giving the ball away cheaply. Footballers need to sort out the 5-yard passes in the first touches. People need to look over the shoulders. We need to forgive ourselves for conceding. We're a naive team because of the age we're at, and I think we're overplaying at times, and we're having many naive moments in play. And I think there was opportunities where you saw, where actually you saw Gabriel, White, even Odegaard at one point, and Ramsdale. There was time, not just them, but we're giving the ball away in areas, and we're playing with fire, people. Lacazette, but at halftime, I put Lacazette's taking the piss, so you can see what I feel like. Second half, we come out a lot better in it. There was still heart in mouth moments. Literally in the first minute, both teams had half chances. Ultimately, we did what we could in the last 10 minutes. Fantastic substitutions. Odegaard's come to the fore. Not that he was subbed on. Pepe and Eddie have done the business. Obviously, Pepe gets us back in the game. Fantastic ice cream scoop from Odegaard into Eddie. Pepe does the rest. The second goal, whether it's an own goal between Sarr or Lacazette gets credited, I don't really care. Once again, Odegaard and Pepe are involved. There's 2 goals in 8 minutes. It flips the game on its head. It turns the narrative. It definitely makes us fans feel a bit better and whatnot. From the jaws of defeat, we've snatched 3 points. It is what it is. I still think, it's frustrating because we're still not playing as good as we can be for 90 minutes. We're still having problems in terms of breaking down low blocks and that, but we showed fight, we showed courage, we showed desire to get back in the game, to get 3 points. It's a big 3 points. Hopefully that can keep the spirit going and things like that. I think, we still struggle against back threes to really break things down and create much as well. Big balls from Arteta really to keep on Lacazette and to bring on Eddie when he did, as well as, Pepe, because I wanted Pepe a lot earlier. I do think when all's said and done, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly from us, because there was serious fight, but, it was self-inflicted. We've had to come back from behind because of self-inflicted mistakes. So, there's a lot of, like I said, the good, bad, and the ugly. Fortunately, I'm happy to be sitting here with a victory, people. So it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot better, but it also could have been a lot worse. So I'll take that, man. Simply put, I'll accept that. So yeah, Lacazette got shagged. Hear that? I just scared everyone on the tram to work when that second went in. Big up yourself, Sammy. Just stopped in to say, as a neutral, love seeing Wolves losing stoppage time after wasting time for 70 minutes. Poetic justice, man. Did the Wolves man say something? Couldn't hear him. Bro, them man there got puffy eyes, crying, man. Crying, man. DG, we will get top 4. We needed such kind of scenarios where we are pushed to the wall. Personally, I wanted to see how we react, and we were good stuck into the end. Screaming on the tram. Hey, Biggie, you look big up you, man. Hope you don't get in any trouble for that. But yeah, man. We're much better at getting to the second balls. And even when we made sloppy touches, we had the determination and reacts to make a move and poke it to a teammate. Second half, we did. You're right. 100%. 100%. DJ, I don't know why you lot are saying we were not good. I think we were very good and expected goals. But I'm stopping that comment at expected goals. Like, we did not play as good as we can. I'm happy we did the thing, but yeah, man. Do you think that building a young team is key to our future? Yeah, but they have to be surrounded with the right players, man. Big up Francis. Wolves are having a great season for them. They should focus on their own thing and stop worrying about us levels to this. Trust. Stop forcing the beef with us. I know we've fallen off, but allow it, man. Stop trying to fight. Odegaard's been wavy, man. We missed Smith Rowe today, but it is what it is. We're going to win the Champions League. Optimism, man. Optimism. Have you seen United's March fixtures? Listen, I hope they lose that, but we've got some tough ones as well, man. Big up you lot for tuning in, man. Odegaard was unreal. Let's talk about Xhaka. What a performance. Odegaard is different gravy, mate. To be fair, I can't blame Ben White because there's no other options. Like, if it's not Ben White, it's Gabriel. None of our midfielders have other guys like Partey and Xhaka, especially when Xhaka's playing the highest, playing as some false 8. We ain't got them guys that it gets punched into and they hold on to it and stuff. So I can't blame people for forcing it. Even when Cedric and Tierney have to force it. We're our own worst enemies sometimes. Don't see a lot of teams breaking us down or outplaying us. Exactly. But that's the case. That's what top four comes down to. We're our own worst enemies. As much as Spurs and these teams there drop points, we need to take advantage. Now, we turned it around. But there's not going to be too many times you start a game like that in the Premier League within this last stage and you get away with it. It can't always be like that. DG, do you think there's no combination between Martinelli and Tierney? No, I don't. I think they're doing all right. But at the same time, obviously, Tierney's probably got better relationships with other players around the field. We're doing all right, man. Man said he's wearing his kit to sleep. Just got back from the Emirates. Great atmosphere tonight. We weren't at our best, but great resilience. Trust. I don't think you're listening, Tom. Nah, we did not play well for 90 minutes. Let's not lie. Like, just because we won doesn't mean we have to change the narrative. Like, we really turned it on for 20 minutes. A better second half. Was poor in the first half. Let's not lie to ourselves. And it's okay to say that. Like, it's fully okay to say that. We don't have to change the narrative. Just like if we lost 1-0 and the last 8 minutes weren't there, none of you would be talking about a lot of these positives because some of you live in agendas. Some of you literally, your points live or die by if we win or lose. That was jammy. We were poor, but so were they. Bro, they never came to play football. You know, we've come a long way. Like I said at the start of the stream, the very fact that we're bordering on March and you don't get points for finishing fourth, you do not get points for being in a race. I don't want to aspire to be a team. While we need to pay our dues and get there first, I don't want to aspire to be a team that finishes fourth. But the very fact that we're still just talking about the conversation with Arsenal tells you everything, man. So, yeah, I think that game shows us the good, bad, and the ugly of us sandwiched in between 90 minutes. Is what it is, man. If that means, listen, I don't really care, really, because, like, this is why I love you lot. If you're subscribed, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button because you know what we're about here, man. We just need to be honest with ourselves and it's okay. We don't need to go into positive la-la land for no reason. We don't need to go into negative land for no reason.